What is going on, everyone? Welcome to today's video. It's a very exciting week, a very exciting day. Every year when November rolls around, Mathews has their launch day, and they this year came out with something once again super revolutionary and very tactical. This year, I don't know why in my head I keep hearing the word like tactical and a system and a full working tactical hunting rig. So in this box we have the all new V3X. This is going to be a complete bow build and rundown of what is in this bad boy. And we have another one right there that we're going to do another bow build in another video. One is the 29 and one is the 33. So they're going to be very different shooting bows. That is, 4-inch axle is quite a bit different, like shooting lines and styles and everything. So let's go ahead, open this bad boy up. We'll take a look, see what it's all about. Also, with this bow and Mathews, if you don't know, Mathews started selling genuine products. So this is the adjustable V-bar. It's made by Shrewd, but it's a Mathews genuine. I've used this for a long time. We also have a 8 degree down quick disconnect. And then we have a QED. All Mathews genuine products. So literally, if you order a bow, I always just order everything with it. All the accessories come with it. And it's just a puzzle piece that you put together when it's coming out. Oh, this is the big one. Disregard. This one we're doing today. That one is going to be in another video. I'm going to do a complete build, do a little bit different. So if you're interested in that, you have to check out another video. This one is the one we're doing today. This. Oh, I did get it in black. I forgot what color I got it in. Sick. This. Wow, that looks hot in black. This is a new V3X right here. 29 inches axle. This is the bow that I have been running all season long, really since July. We've had prototypes since July, which is absolutely nuts, but that gives us time to really shoot them, figure them out, give feedback. And so this is my rig. 29 inches axle, I feel like for the average guy with a 28 to 29 inch draw length is absolutely money. So that's me. I'm 28.5 inch draw length. This bow fits me just incredibly. So I guess we should go over a little bit of, if you've been living under a rock today, let's go over some technology of this new rig, the V3X. And as you can see, it does look similar to the V3. And Mathews understands that, and they know that. But what they have done differently is they've drastically changed a couple few features along with the axle. But now, what they've done, this is I think the coolest and the biggest thing in the entire bow. They've introduced this bridge lock technology, and so literally, you slide your sight right through the riser. And this works on spot hogs, excels, anything that is a standard bar like that. But they do still allow you to bolt onto the side, so you can see that there's two screw holes in the side right there, and then you just have a peg that goes right in the side, which is that little peg right there. So they have, I guess, instructions on how to do that in case you don't know. That's super awesome. I'm going to show you how I do this. There's a couple cool things. You actually will get a saw involved to kind of customize this, but that is one huge feature. Obviously the 29 inches axle and 33 inches axle. We still have switch weight technology. The riser design is a little bit different. Also on these cam systems, you can see that there's these little string knobs right here, and I don't have a string for the 29. I do have the string for the 33, so we can demonstrate it in the other video, but we can't demonstrate it with this one. Literally, you can work on your bow without a bow press. It's sold separately. I forget what they call it, but it's basically a, do you remember what it's called?
SYS?
SYS?
I think so.
whatever that stands for.
SAS.
SAS?
One of the
SYS, whatever. It's essentially a short little string that they made, and you can press your own bow by going like this with the cam system. So this color is just black, which actually, I always love a black bow. I got a lot of them. It just looks super classy with the colors you put on it. But new for this year, this is the rig that I've been rocking this entire year. New for this year is the new granite color, which is like desert tactical tan awesomeness. Like literally tree bark. If you're out west, if you're in the desert, like this color just blends in so well. So I love that. Obviously you still got accessories are black, but with the main biggest riser being so blended in is awesome. And it just looks awesome. Also new for this year, which is why I was talking about it's such a tactical system. I don't have one mounted on here right now, so I'm gonna show you on this, is their new quivers. They literally have made this possible only because of this sight, how this sight bracket works. But this is the new quiver system, so I'll show you how to take it off real quick. And this is the detachable quiver, so there is a little lever here. You slide it out, and then up on top, it comes off just like that. Literally one lever comes off like that. And what I'll show you, put something like that, is how tight that actually fits on the bow. Being a detachable quiver that's that tight, and that doesn't require a separate bracket. Like we're still talking an insanely light bow with the quiver on. So that is the new quiver system, detachable, 100%, super lightweight and tight. And also I did some modifications on it, as you can see with the rope and whatnot. You know how if you watch some of my hunting videos, sometimes I have my quiver strapped on. So I literally taped a piece of paracord. I had a little carabiner clip, we'll clip it on my belt. It worked really nice. But I just like that. I don't always like to shoot with my quiver on. This system though definitely makes it a lot easier, more balanced to shoot with it on. So that's my rig, but this is our new rig. What we're gonna do is we're gonna completely set this bad boy up, get it tuned and get it shooting, and give you guys the full experience and review as if you were to get this new bow. We're gonna do it right here, right now. Okay, so as you guys know, if you've watched my video, I've really been liking this Q80 rest because it's so light. Like this thing is so simplistic and light, and with the dovetail system on Mathews, it literally just clamps right on. So my first step, I guess let's put this in the vise. First step, what I like to do is I just like to bolt everything on the bow. So we just have it on the bow and we're ready to go into the tuning stages and everything. But we'll do this, take our Q80. They come with some handy dandy Allen wrenches. The amount of Allen wrenches I have now is getting a little ridiculous. It's overflowing. I have this magnetic thing over there. It is absolutely overflowing with Allen wrenches. But I do like the extra Allen wrenches. Always remember when you get your Q80, it comes with this little rubber plug, and you are going to want to fill that hole in on this side. You can see you fill that in, or it looks dumb with the shininess of the screw hole. So always remember that. Don't lose that. So we're gonna loosen this up. Take this off. This is so simple, boys and girls. Like literally, there's no witchcraft. There's no nothing. You take this off. You take the small Allen wrench. You loosen this. Let me spin this ball around so you guys can see. So you take the rest. This little tiny guy is actually like the guide of this entire thing. It doesn't hold it in place. It's just the guide, I like to put it, or like to call it. So you can see this little white arrow, and then you can see a little indented line into the riser. All you do is you line that right up, and then just use this little Allen wrench, tighten it down. You don't need to go crazy with it. See, I'm off a little bit. Hold on. You don't need to go crazy with it, just kind of hand tightened. This big clamp is the one that actually tightens it down. So it fits right in there. clamp that bad boy down. And we are at 0 right now. So this rest technically should be at 0 unless there's, you know, a slight difference in arrows or the way you tighten your D-loop or whatever it is. It should be right around 0. And throughout the tuning process, I keep this at 0. I switch the top hats first, and then if I need a micro tune after switching around the top hats, I'll move the rest a little bit. It should be pretty close to 0 at all times though. All right, got that little guy. We will deal with that once we put it in the bow press. Next, we'll just bolt on the stabilizer stuff. Like I said earlier, this is the Mathews Genuine V-bar. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with side stabilizers and really customize it. You can either mount it in the front here, you mount it in the back. My favorite spot is to mount it in the back. We are gonna use this one and this guy and this guy. Shoo! Oh, that made me cringe. Oh, I hate that sound. Holy cow. I apologize. All right, this is very important too for the stabilizer. So we're gonna take this. You take this little washer spacer thing, throw it in there, and we're gonna use this bolt to go in just like that. And I will like to say this is my little special touch on this bow and on the V3 lineup. Originally, this little side of the bow right here was rounded. And when you installed this side stabilizer or side V-bar bracket on, it didn't fit like 100%. I was like, yo, like, can we just make that flat? And they were like, yeah, we can make that flat. So you're welcome. That is why it is 100% flat when mounting that on. That's my small flex on my engineering skills. That's about as far as that goes though. Okay, so we need, spin that around, and on this bracket there's a rounded version and a flat version. You want the flat side going against the bow so that it's 100% seated in there. Tighten that down. When this dude's tight, it ain't going nowhere. Like I really love this system. Haven't had very, very few issues. The only time I've ever had this come loose is like on an airplane in travel, and like probably the bagging agent like chucked it off the plane and it's bumped loose. But besides that, I've had like 0 problems. To tighten this down though, I do like to use a like a single lever Allen wrench like this instead of on a tool set, so you can really just ream on it. I'm actually gonna match this up with another one. It also has little markers. So this is at 4. So I'm guessing that's 4 degrees. And then this outward is at 4. Oh, look at that, 4 and 4. So if you're curious how I like it, it's at 4 and 4. And that has worked really well. Look at that, I eyeballed it at 4. And then on this side, we'll put it right at 4. Shoo. Okay, and then on to the front, 8-degree down, quick disconnect. This is all about feel. Feel at full draw, your sight picture and everything. An 8-degree down will give you a little bit different hold, sight picture, and after shot vibration a little bit. Something that it's really hard to describe, but something that you shoot it, you put this on, you put a regular on, you put this on, you put a regular on, and then you just decide. It's like personal preference. But I like how this feels and shoots. I've ran an 8-degree down for a long time. And you want to make sure that this thing is straight. I mean, it really doesn't matter if you have a 0 degree, but with a degree down, if you don't have it straight, your stabilizer is going to be kicked off to the side. So sometimes you want that, but for this type of thing, you do not want that. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Super easy, bolted on. Now, We don't even need to do a side bracket. I was just gonna say we need to put a sight bracket on. What is left? That's about it. So I guess we'll open up stabilizers now. These are the Shrewd B-Real Vantage series. If you're curious where those are, you can pick those up on BOmerch.com. It's a little co-brand we did with Shrewd. Really love these stabilizers. I've shot them for, I think, for 2 years now. They look nice, they perform well, they dampen sound. Just an overall really good stabilizer. I'm actually gonna put 2 in the front, 4 in the side. I'm just gonna match what I've been shooting. It's been doing really well. So this is a 12-inch for the front. I think 12 works really well for shooting. I did run a little bit shorter setup for strictly like a whitetail bow. I set up that 34 over there. A little bit shorter stabilizer setup, getting up out of tree stands, ground blinds, whatnot. It helps having a little bit shorter ones, but I really love the 12 for performance and accuracy and how it holds. Okay, so we have these 2 little deals. The degree down is a little different. It's the quick disconnect. And then for my side, I've been running a 9 inch with 4 weights out the side. So we'll put these 4 weights on. We'll do every other to make it look fancy too. Very nice. It's looking clean. Very clean. Okay, so we have that. For a peep sight, we're just gonna put in a Hamsky peep. Then what we're gonna do also is install a B-Real grip. Yes, the B-Real grip does work on this bow. They run the same standard engaged grip. So all you gotta do, if you get the B-Real grip, it's super important that you take, well, obviously you gotta take this grip off. It just peels right off. But it's super important you get all this sticky glue off if you install the B-Real grip or any sort of aftermarket grip, or you're permanently going to install that grip onto a bow. So make sure you get all this off. Shoo! That looks clean. Black on black. I'm glad I got a black one. It looks nice. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw it in the press, put the peep sight in first, because you put the peep sight in, it adjusts the strings. Then we're going to put the D-loop on, get everything lined up, shoot it through paper, probably adjust. Then we're gonna take this bad boy outside and see how it shoots. So this blue indicator string is the true center of the bow. A lot of times I'll just leave this in here, kind of loosen it up, push it up to the top, just so you always know the true center in case you ever lose it for whatever reason. So we're just gonna throw our peep sight in. And it's important you throw your peep sight in prior to tying in your D-loop and everything, because putting in this peep sight is gonna twist your string because of the separation it does. So a layman, just put that in there, don't tie it in or anything. Then we're gonna spin it. We're gonna get this dude level with this Hamsky 3rd axis leveler. So essentially what we're doing is we're just getting the bow level. Everything on the bow level, the string will make the riser level, make the sight level, everything level. I really don't even need this now that I got the Hamsky thing. As far as arrows, I'm gonna set this up. I just fletched these up. It's the Victory VAP TKO 300 spine. Someone's gonna ask, so let's go ahead and weigh them. These are 451 grains, so right in the middle. I feel like 450 is right in the middle weight, so which is perfect. I wanted to try these out, wanted to try this grain out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to clip this in. pop the rest up. Then this arrow level we're gonna put on it. And so the bow is level right now. So to find true center, all you have to do is make the arrow level, because we put the QED rest on, it's at 0, it's at the spot it's supposed to be. So now you just put the arrow in the correct spot. Also, I like to push the rest all the way up because you can see it has a little bit of movement in there, and when you're at full draw, it's in this upright position. So we're just gonna move the knock until that's level. Perfect. Right through the burger hole. And the burger hole, for those who don't know, is this sight screw, which you don't use if you use this QED integrate. Perfect. Perfect. So there we go. So now it's important, don't bump this arrow. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna spin it, and then we're gonna tie above and below the knock. And then we'll put in our D-loop. So what I've been doing as of lately is I'll do three knots, I guess, on a side. So I'll do one over, one under, and then one back over. I'll finish it off with a square knot. You just do the opposite direction of the knot you just did. We can push that out of the way now since we have this tied in. And all you do, you can cut this and burn it, or you just burn it. Should be good. I don't like how it melted a little extra. I should have cut it and burned it. That would have been a little cleaner, but that's fine. Now we're gonna take it again. And I like to leave, you have to leave, or you're gonna experience pinch in the knock at full draw. But you wanna leave a little bit of slop in the knock. So instead of tying it in all the way tight, I like to just go one serving length of space in between, if that makes sense. Because when you come at full draw, if this is your string, but when you go at full draw, that is a sick full draw. Pretty much it creates a pinch because it come at full draw and the string comes back here and it pinches down because there's not as much room when it's on an angle. So you need to leave a little bit of the room for the knock to fit in. You can see here, this is about as much as I want. Just one serving diameter of slop right there. Okay, I'm gonna cut it this time so it's a little cleaner. Sharpen that knife. Much cleaner. Okay, now we're gonna take our D-loop material. You always fluff the end of your D-loop, and then when I burn it, I never really want to light it on fire. I still haven't looked this up. I say this every time I say this, but I should actually look this up. Supposedly, if you burn the D-loop material until it catches on fire, the heat that the material gets when it's actually on fire weakens it. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard that. So now what I like to do is just get it hot enough to melt it, but not like catch it on fire. I have no clue if that's true or not, but I roll with it. So it creates a perfect little round ball there. Let it cool down. Take your long end, just pull on it. Cinch it down, and you want the knot facing you if your bow is set up like it is. So like facing outward, facing to you if you're holding it. Before I cinch it all the way down, I'm just gonna get it up tight next to the little serving indicators I did. And then I'll pull on it a little bit, but we'll cinch it down with the pliers at the end very well. So we're just gonna tie our top one. And the top knot, the little burned part, is gonna face away from you. Because when you're at full draw, if you shoot any sort of handheld release, when you turn it slightly, this helps be a little bit more forgiving. You don't have as much torque in your D-loop. Just slice my strings. That'd be sick. Just gonna work that in place. Use some pliers. There we go. There's our D-loop. Now what I'm gonna do, before I check my Peep height and everything, I'm just gonna put the cord in. It goes in the bottom cable. It probably should go in true center, but obviously when you have a solid color string like I do, I just kind of randomly pick in the center. Filter that through. And then I'll pull it back and it pulls all of the slack out. Gets all the way up tight, and then I know exactly where I need it. What I'm gonna do is I'll do a knot. And then I will cut it and burn it. Super simple. And I will smash that down because I just want it all tight in there. There we go, that's all I do. Filter through, knot, cut it, burn it. Now what we are going to do is we're gonna put our sight on so I can get my Peep sight in the correct spot. For the sight though, since this year has the bridge lock technology, this sight, if you were to put it all the way in, it doesn't hit the cables right here, but you just have a lot of extra room. And what I always just run it right in the middle. I mean, there's a lot of like torque tuning stuff you can do with the sight. But I always run it right in the middle, give or take one or two. So what I am going to do is I am actually going to cut this sight. I did this on my other one. And I recommend if you do what I'm about to show you to do, make sure you do all your testing and everything you want to do beforehand. Because obviously once you cut it off, you can't get it back. I'm going to tighten this down, and then I'm going to mark it. Like that looks fine, it's totally fine. But if you want it to look clean, you hack this off. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I did to my other one. So we're going to take a silver Sharpie, put a little dot right there, a little dot right there. I'm going to take it back out, draw a line across it, and then you can do this with a Dremel tool or an arrow saw. I don't know if I'd recommend anything else. I mean, maybe like a little bandsaw or something. Yeah. I would not be taking a freaking hacksaw to this guy because it's going to look bad. So here we have this. Take our silver Sharpie, find something straight. This will work. And that is what we're cutting off. Now, if you have an arrow saw, if you have a pro shop and you want to do this, feel free. I'm not liable. I don't think Mathews is liable. But literally what we're going to do is we're going to hack this bad boy off with an arrow saw. So we'll get this down so we can see it really good. I had to last time do it from one side and then the other side, so. Well, here we go, folks. This is my eye protection for the day. So that I don't get sued. This is great. All right. Yeah, actually, I can see pretty decent with this. Okay, I just gotta close an eye. So we're gonna cut this now. flip it. Not bad, but I do have it a little off, so I'm gonna fix that. Not bad. So now let's see. Hopefully I did it right. Let's see how it looks. Oh yeah, look at that. Sick. So it just looks cleaner if you do that. Like I said, you do not have to do that. I just think it looks nicer if it is. And it's kind of cool if you look, this carbon bar is 100% carbon. So if you had any questions on that, yeah, it is carbon. What we're gonna have to do next is and this is gonna be a highly talked about topic, but since this sight bar goes through the center of the riser, a lot of these sights are gonna be bumped way to the left. So like on this Excel landslide, it can be fixed by moving the entire sight bracket over to the right. It has 2 adjustment sides. So it does work. I feel like it may be a problem with some sights, like some less adjustable sights with the left and right deal, but the Excel landslide does work. So like I said, that comes completely off. You can see that there's 2 adjustments. It can go there or there. So we're gonna bump it over to the far right one, and this will fix our extreme left and right issues, or extreme left issue. The way that this sight goes through the center of the riser. I'm gonna get the second axis back on, because when you do that, your second axis is gonna be off. And your second axis is that right there, which is controlled by these 2 front screws on the landslide. So this is it's a bright sight third axis deal. It works pretty good. It works good for doing it quick. If you want to do it what I consider 100%, it's definitely doing it at full draw. So we're just gonna get the bright sight lined up, the scope lined up, tighten it back down. I will put the windage adjustment back in the middle so that you have maximum adjustment if you're in the field or just something happens. And then what I'll do is I'll adjust the big left and right adjustment by the scope rod. And I know roughly where it needs to go based on my other one. Make sure it's rotated correctly. I'll cinch it back down. There we go. Now the sight is ready for the bow. Slip it back in. And I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, like, well, I wonder how tight the fit is. This alone in there is pretty dang snug. And what their design in there, it looks like they have some wiggle room. They have like rounded corners, because I'm like assuming every single sight bar is slightly different. We have a spot hog here. It's a fast eddy, and that slides in as well, and that has about the same amount of slop too, but like I said, with that set screw, it locks everything right down. So spot hog, Excel, I'm assuming CBE and everything. I just don't have them to try them. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, that was an AccuTouch. So the AccuTouch bar and the landslide bar, everything works. So that's what it's gonna look like completely set up. Pretty sick rig. I love that black color with the accessories and everything. Super clean. Once again, another sexy looking bow coming from Mathews. All right, let's look at a hinge. We'll grab an arrow. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our peep sight lined up correctly. Oh, I need to do that also. Hear that? That's straight aluminum on the rest. I gotta put the little felt on. So when you're testing out your peep sight, I don't tie it in yet, and you do not want to shoot it. You do not want to shoot a bow with an untied Peep. But we're gonna pull it back, look through the scope, see where we're at. And I am way off. Whoa. Feels good though. Feels just like my other one. So we'll spin this up. And that's why you don't want to tie it in, because you might have to do some extreme changes on it. Probably a little bit more still. Shoo! Oh, do not want to send that one. All right, so that's in the right spot. I know this sight is about set up the same thing. Let's look at my other one. Screw hole, there, there. Yeah, it's about the same. Also, what you can do, if you have an old bow set up with the same axle and everything, you can compare. Yeah, those Peeps are exactly the same spot. Wow, did I already lose that? No, right there. Just got new lighters in the shop. Put one at each station. And Mitchell and I are guessing it's going to be about a week until I lose all of them. Tying the Peep in the groove of the Peep sight. Just simple knots. Go back up top. Simple knot, and then we'll tie it off with a square knot. Tighten that down. Cut my bowstrings. JK, LOL. There we go. Slide up that string divider. I'll probably keep this one in just so I know where it's at. Okay, so we have the rest pretty much in a zeroed out neutral spot. We have the Peep sight installed. We have everything installed. Our next step is to shoot it through paper. And we'll shoot it multiple times, kind of get it broken in. This is just going to give us like a rough neutral tune. As I continue to shoot this and tune it for broadheads or whatever, I might take this bow out west actually in December. You change things, as is what I'm trying to say, as you shoot the bow, as the bow breaks in, because you really got to break in a bow. If you get a new bow, you go to the pro shop, they get it all dialed for you, and then you shoot 1,000 arrows over the course of a month, and it changes. That's not like a bad thing. Like no matter what strings you put on, no matter what you put on a bow, things just change. I don't know what it is, but like you got to break in a bow, you got to shoot in a bow, and check up on it periodically. Okay, let's see how this bad boy shoots through paper. Now that we have our Peep sight tied in. Oh, please be a bullet hole. Whew, right through the target. Okay, low right. So we're gonna start out by messing with the top hats. We are gonna bump the rest a little bit down. Just gonna bump it down a touch. Straight through the target. So we're switching the top hats out right now. What I'm gonna do first is just flip the top set of top hats. See what that does. Sometimes that can just fix it. Nice. Super easy to swap the top hats out. You do need a bow press to swap them out. Essentially what it does is it shifts the cam over left or right. You can get a full top hat kit. If you want to work on your bow at home, I do recommend getting a full top hat kit. And then you literally walk the cam left or right and you can just walk the bullet hole or the tear left or right according to how your arrow is turning. And it's storming outside. If you do hear, can you hear that lightning a little bit? Yeah, it's storming outside now. But we're gonna see if this did anything, or just flip them. And you can do them kind of independently of each other. You can do the top, you can do the bottom, you can do them both. Really doesn't matter. It amplifies it or de-amplifies the reaction of the tear. Amplified it. You can see, I always forget if moving the cam to the left or the right. I can't get that wrapped around my mind what it does. So I always just flip one right out the gate to see what it does. So it pretty much doubled the tear. So now we know to go back and to continue to go the other way. A little bit of trial and error. We got the downward tear fixed a little bit. Maybe got to bump our rest just a little bit more. It's always good though when you get a reaction out of something that you do right away is always good, because you can just fix it one way or the other. The very hard thing to do is you're doing all sorts of stuff and you can't fix it. That's always a pain in the head. Close. Nice. Just a little low left. So we still have the low going on. Just a touch. It's about the same. This is a touch low. It's about the same low. But now it's left, just a smidge. So this is what I was talking about. This is close enough. This was drastic enough to move the top hats. We moved it the wrong way, and now we're back really close. And I don't know why you like moving the top hats. Like I was saying, it's your arrow setup. It's the way you put everything on the bow. It's very minor, but the top hats get it there quick, and then you do a minor little adjustment. So this is minor adjustment. We should be able to get it good here. Still a touch low. Pretty money. Let's back up. Is it down?
Yeah, it's that one.
Was it that one? Huh. Still a touch low. Let's shoot again though. Yep, just a touch low. A little low left. Smidgen. You can get a super close, like that looks like a bullet hole from 3 steps, but you go to 8 steps, 9 steps away, and it goes from that to that. Amplifies it. Anyone can get a bullet hole at 2 steps. It's hard to get one a little farther away. I'm gonna call that pretty dang good. You can see fletchings. The 4 fletches is so hard to tell. What we'll do now, what's really gonna determine the true tune is broadheads. Broadheads don't lie. But we're pretty much tuned up. We're gonna go ahead, tie in this peep sight real quick, and we pretty much have a finalized rig. 290. That's pretty impressive. Shooting a 450 grain arrow, 75 pounds, shooting 290. That is such a perfect combination right there, I feel. It's not too fast where it becomes being sporadic and inaccurate, because in my opinion, with too fast of a bow and too light of an arrow, it just becomes so squirrely. So being right 280 to 300 feet per second, I think is a sweet spot. I wanted to go over too for all of the spec nerds out there. I just wanted to read out the specs because I know there's going to be a lot of questions in there. And if you wanted just to get it from everything from this video, V3X 29 is 340 feet per second, 29 inches axle, of course, 6-inch brace height, 4.4 pounds. You can get it in 80%, 85% let off, 60 to 75 pounds, draw lengths 25.5 to 30 inches. So you can get, like Cooper could shoot this bow for sure. Of course, it's got the cross-centric switch weight technology and everything. This bow is just a streamlined tactical machine with the sight integration allows this bow to be so much more balanced. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but other than when you start bolting stuff to the side of this bow, all it does is weight everything over. And that's why a lot of times you add a sidebar. So I still have the sidebar on, but it almost becomes unnecessary. Like shooting this bow with nothing on it or shooting this bow just with a front stabilizer feels really nice also. So we're gonna get this guy outside and go shoot a bit. Dicey. All right, I'm gonna go toss the target out. All right, guys. Well, it's a new day. When we did the bow builds, it was pouring down rain and it got dark on us. So today is the day before launch day. We were filming this. But we have the new bows. We're gonna shoot them a little bit and talk about them a little bit more. We have the 29s fully set up, and I just want to do some shooting with the 29s. If you're interested in the 33, there's a totally other video on that, total other bow build, and we're gonna shoot them a little bit side by side. But yeah, let's go ahead and see how this dude shoots. We're gonna do some guessing here. So I'm at 40 yards right now. Shooting 20 yards. So we just add 20 yards, whatever we need roughly. So if this is 60, it's 80. Oh, yeah, 55. 55, so that's 75. These arrows are a little lighter, 70.
Slam it.
That's some good math right there.
Slam it.
Mint. Dude, that was so close. Look at that math. Math teacher would be proud on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know I talked about it a little bit during the bow build, but the biggest thing about this entire bow is balance. Like bringing the sight into the bridge lock creates a whole new system for the quiver, a whole new system for the sight, a whole new feel to it. Like if you shoot this thing, I remember back in July when we shot these for the first time, it was like, it felt like a bare bow or a balanced bow with a sidebar with nothing on it, and literally even with the quiver on it too. It just has a completely different feel on it. Like I don't know how else to explain it other than it's just got a whole new balance to it. How's it, Riley? How's it feel like, or how's it sound? Is it quiet?
Sounds quiet. My V3 is, for some reason, kind of loud. It's definitely louder than that.
I think this is quieter because you eliminate the
You
sight
take
bracket.
yeah, you take everything in. Like they were saying, you know, you take everything in.
Well, I think the simpler things get, the quieter it gets too. Shoo! Those are touching down there. That's good. This bow pounds right now, guys. I'm gonna shoot this last one. I'm gonna pick up the one I've been using and shoot it with the quiver. That's a little left. So I've always said this, but I do not like shooting with the quiver. Like, I just don't. And this bow is the very first bow that I've killed an animal with the quiver on. It was in Nebraska, and when you were like stalking through Milo and everything, and if I had my quiver out and around, it just wouldn't have been good. So I shot it with my quiver on. I've never done that before, but I was confident in it because literally the way it's balanced. Like, I hate sounding pluggy like this, but literally it's like, this is probably the only way I would shoot with a quiver on. And I'll show you guys real quick if you haven't seen it yet, but that just comes off just like that. Top comes off, and literally, like, it's so simplistic. There's not a whole lot of extra parts. There's just these two little brackets. Flips right in. Oh, I should move my sight, eh?
Probably not a bad idea.
So this is the bow that I've been using all year. It's obviously heavier, like compared between the two, just because there's arrows and everything on it. But balance-wise, like, I'm all right with it. This might not actually be exactly 55. Oh, 56. I feel like it's still wicked quiet too.
Yeah.
Like, shoot, I've never shot them
on.
side by side like that yet. Typically when you got a quiver on, it's like, boing. Good group. I am a little low. Real good group. Here we are. This is the black V3X 29. These are my arrow sighting in. Oh no, wait. This was my last one. These are my arrow sighting in. These are the two once I was sighted in, and then this is the one where I said was a little left. So, like, great group right out the gate. This is the bow I've been shooting. I'll have to check my sight tape because I'm about 2 inches low there. So I might have to check that. It might, I don't know what that could be, but a little low. But really good group. Ignore that. That's from the crossbow. 100. So what it was
You were shooting at 60, you put it on 80.
20 yards. Yeah, so 20 yards more.
Yep.
Let's do like 90 because I don't have. How do you guess 20 yards more on 90? 100, 120. That should be close. Wow, my fingers are frozen.
Dude, my hands are cold.
Nice tree.
That hit something hard.
That hit a tree. Wow, sick one, bud. Dude, it pegged the tree right in the middle. Yeah, right in the middle.
Oh, I see it.
Great, nice one. It's
much-
not,
Too
dude,
much diesel.
it's not a true bow build if I don't just pound one right into a tree. Sick glue job, Chris.
That was nice.
Okay. I had to use that white glue. Didn't have any blue glue. All right, let's try this again. Okay, we're in the target. Yeah. Wow, it's so windy too. This is not an accurate. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Well, that is. Oh, also, it's way too windy at 100 yards, so I'm done shooting at 100 yards. But that is the end of the bow build. The all-new V3X by Mathews, 29 inches. A very interesting bow, based on the fact that it's not far off from the V3, and they know that. That's why it's called the V3X. But there are a lot of new features that make it shoot totally and radically different. The 29-inch axle is by far my favorite. Right between like 28 inches and 30 inches is like my favorite bow for hunting. The bridge lock, the SAS system for the infield repairs, a lot of cool features that make it just a completely tactical setup. The new quiver design, making it literally, this is probably the only quiver I'll ever shoot while hunting to keep it on. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, make sure to ask them in the comments. I will try to do my best to go in there, answer a few of them. As always, we'll catch you guys next time.